Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. It's Matt Cook with Jonathan Green and Men's Mayhem. And each week we dissect some very interesting relationships and dating questions and give you some really, really great advice that you'll never hear anywhere else. Um, I am Matt Cook, and I have about 700,000 subscribers. I'm a relationship and sex and health expert. And Jonathan Green was a world famous dating coach, one of the top dating coaches in the world until he's retired now on a tropical island. And here we all are.
I've got one for you that's very interesting.
Okay.
So I'm married. This guy's married to his second wife. They've got 3 kids together that are from her previous relationship. So he's a stepdad to 3 kids.
Mhm.
His second wife been together 5 years, and then his ex-wife after the divorce, full cold shoulder. So they got divorced like right. He got divorced 5 years ago. So I guess he got the divorce and new marriage were very close to each other, or the new relationship. There's a very small window of less than a year. And then she moves 2 hours away and doesn't talk to him that often. I mean, doesn't talk to him again. Like he's messaging her on
The ex moves 2 hours away, never talks to him again. Okay.
and then he just found out that his ex has married his best friend from college. He's like, oh, I didn't even. I love it, right?
Okay.
And he's like,
All right.
I'm really upset. It's killing me.
Come on now.
So
Come on.
he's like, saying all these different things. Like everyone knows that we're best friends. He said he would always be my friend. He'd say he's my always. And it's like they're adding a lot of like phrases that I consider have gay undertones. Like he said he'd be my always. My best friend from college. We're still best friends. We've fallen apart, but he's never said that to me, right? We're really
I
close.
would never say that to another man, personally. I don't, it's like
Yeah,
not
that's
this
why it's kind of weird.
communication
Everyone
style.
says everyone says he's my best friend. It's so weird. Like that's such a strange phrase.
That's so weird.
And these
That's
are
so
people in
weird.
mid and late 30s.
I would have to assume he's not his best friend, okay, because otherwise he wouldn't say that. So here's what my stand on it is that even if you don't feel it inside, you have to pretend to be thrilled for your friend, who's supposedly your best friend, because your friend met the love of his life. Just because it's your ex, be thrilled for her too. You shared a life together before. Don't you want the best for her? Why not? And so you should always want the best for people. And if you don't, pretend that you do.
So,
And that's all there is to it.
well, that's not what this guy did. So he went crazy. He went to visit his best friend in the other city like 6 months ago. He brings his new wife with him. He's like, oh, I'm going to try and see my ex-wife too, which is insane. And he goes, the best friend's like, yeah, I'm dating someone new. And he goes, who is it? He goes, your ex-wife. And I go crazy. And I go, what the F? And he's like, you broke up. He goes, you divorced her, you broke her heart. And I didn't start dating her for 2 years. Followed all the
Totally
rules.
fair.
All the
Totally fair. More than fair.
And then he goes, spends the weekend getting absolutely drunk. And he's like, I feel betrayed. This person doesn't know what the word betray means. I've had a real betrayal. Like, this is unbelievable. This is someone who's obviously never had anything bad happen in their lives.
Yeah.
And I went back home and I'm distant from my wife and kids because I'm hurting so much. I had a huge fight with my wife. And then she accused me of cheating. And I finally told her that I'm upset because my ex and my best friend. And she scoffed. That's the best use of scoff I've ever read. Like, that's when you should definitely scoff because that's an unbelievable thing to say. It's someone I
can picture that.
Someone I broke up with 6 years ago.
I thought I married a man. I found out I married an immature boy. Okay.
Then she goes, I've known about them forever because they post on social media together. That's amazing. This new wife is killing it right now. The new wife is so far winning this entire question, right?
Yeah, what WTF, man? I've been knowing that for a long time. What's the big news? What's the big
don't
whoop?
look at your best friend's Instagram? He's been posting pictures with her for 2 years. That's amazing.
Oh, but it's his bestie. One and only. What was the expression he said about his friend?
Listen to this. Here's even better. This guy is he's such a beta. I flew into a rage and we fought for hours. She betrayed me by not telling me the entire time that she knew. She didn't say anything when I mentioned my best friend not returning my calls or messages. Well, it's not her place. It's not her business at all.
Right.
I couldn't go to sleep before work, and after work and then I went home from work and I just stayed at my parents' house.
That's where he should. He still belongs there. He should be living in his parents already. He's not grown up. Hasn't grown up.
I came home. She accused me of still being in love with my ex, and said I called her stupid, and said she wouldn't understand because she doesn't have any friends.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Feels like the nuclear button. Like that's unbelievable. So
So I want to just
I said I
mention
only
here,
care
Jonathan.
because it's my I only care because it's my best friend. I wouldn't care if it was anyone else.
No, 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 no. So,
And it's still
uh,
my marriage feels like a lot. It goes on. This person goes on
oh
for
yeah.
my marriage feels like a
Well,
lie.
here's the problem. The problem is that we have these primitive lizard monkey brains that produce these feelings that are very, very deep, and we get very angry, we get upset, we get jealous. But it doesn't mean that we should be acting on the monkey brain just because we feel jealous and upset. Okay, understandable. You can't put someone down. Your monkey brain is making you feel upset. Your best friend and your ex have hooked up. You can't, put that, say, oh, I don't feel bad about it. If you do, you feel bad about it. But it doesn't mean you should act on it. That's the point. There's a lot of emotions that we have because of our primitive brains that we shouldn't be acting on. We shouldn't even be telling anyone about it because they'll just pass and go away. And it's like, you deal with it. You go, I feel really weirdly jealous that my best friend is together with my ex-wife. It's so weird how jealous I feel. I feel so angry about it. And yet I know that I should be happy for my best friend and my ex-wife. So I'm not going to say anything to them. I'm going to be really happy when I'm around my best friend and congratulate him. And I'm going to be thrilled for him, even inside if I don't feel that way. That's how you should handle it. You shouldn't necessarily go with your emotions just because that's how you feel. That's ridiculous.
So it sounds like this guy, right? Like he's been trying to stay in touch with the ex-wife the whole time. So
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
say that he actually wants the best for her. Like let's say he actually is a person who wants his ex-wife to have a happy life. Wouldn't you want her to be with someone that you know for sure is awesome?
Yeah. And plus your friend, if he's happy, you're happy.
That's
If
what
your
I
best
mean.
friend
Like
is happy, sure.
it's not like you have kids with her and all of that stuff in the mix, which would
Right.
make it more complicated, but
Right.
I love that
But
like
you can't help how you feel. You can't help how you feel, but you can help what you act on. You don't
yeah.
act on that. That's all.
It's yeah,
It's
I mean
perfect.
he
It's so
confessed to
childish to
not
act on
confess these
it.
feelings. Like and it's
Well, that's
I just
that's a
think it's
little weird.
also like there's something wrong with you because every decision he's made has been a bad one in a row. He's made a series of bad mistakes.
Mhm.
So one of my relatives is a defense attorney, and here's one of the advice he gives. He goes, never commit two crimes at the same time. He goes, if you have someone in the trunk, don't speed. He goes, when you get in trouble is when you get in trouble
Remember
is
that
when you
next time.
mix together. And he's done so many defense cases. He goes, this is where things start to go bad, is where you're doing
Yeah.
multiple things wrong, because
Okay.
then they can all tumble into each other. And now, right? So it's like that's what's happened here is that this guy has done a series of bad things in a row, which is like first you accuse your wife of betraying you, then you go sleep at your parents' house, then you call her stupid, and I go, well, that seems pretty bad, and then you are
Then you
like,
say you have no friends. That was the other thing. You have no friends.
that's yeah. I mean, I thought calling your wife stupid is the worst thing you can do, and then it turned out I was wrong because he thought of something worse. But, I
Nobody
mean,
likes you. You're
yeah,
not
and
likable.
this person, yeah, how did you trick two women into marrying you? It's unbelievable.
There was watching a show called The Tourist. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a newer show on Netflix, and it's a good sort of relationship, sort of like this woman has a low self-esteem and she's overweight, and the guy, and he says to her at some point, he goes, no one's going to be else is going to be attracted to you if you break up with me. I mean, that's kind of the same thing. Like no one likes you. So again, the point is you have feelings. You can't control the feelings. You can control your behavior. And so your behavior is very poor here, and you need to conceal it and cover it up and not behave that way. And that's all. This is also one thing brought to you by the sponsor of this is our wonderful company, Feral. Remember, you're just one spray away. Feral is an attraction cologne with animalic accords that women can't get enough of on a man. So you want to have every advantage and edge that you can. And they'll give you a free bottle. You just have to help them out with shipping. Go to attractivehabit.com.